with recycling and make some predictions. Are we doing better than we were last year or worse? Take a couple minutes to talk. One change. More recycle boxes. Great. What else?
Less trash in my trash can box.
Whoa, there you go.
Good news. Good news. So, at least the exciting part for me is you're seeing the changes. And there are more to come. You have the emphasis of go greener. We're with you. We want to be your partner. So let's talk about our partnership. Obviously, the Weston Kierland, the Arizona Center for Flying Document Destruction, has been the entity of Recycle One that has been your partner for quite a while. So not only do we handle document destruction, but we handle your entire recycling stream. And I'm so glad that you noticed glass. That was a big thing for you to be able to get rid of glass, and we finally have an outlet for that. So that's pretty exciting for us. You also have Global Green Integrators, which is your food recycler. And we're going to talk about some numbers related to food recycling and that kind of waste and what we can do with that, and how big of an impact that makes on what's going into your compactor every day. So the recyclables that we're picking up right now, paper and shredding. Cardboard, cardboard, cardboard. Holy moly, you guys make a lot of cardboard waste. But I'm excited about it because you'll see the numbers in a minute. From last year at this time to this May, you have doubled what you were doing as far as cardboard waste goes, and then you're getting money back on that. So that's super exciting. Plastic and glass, aluminum and tin, and then the food recycling. Recycling impact. 1 ton of recycled paper saves 17 30-foot trees, 7,000 gallons of water, 380 gallons of oil, and 4,100 kilowatts of energy. Make a guess. How much paper do you think you recycle in a month here at the Weston? How many tons do you think? In May 2011, you recycled 8,464 pounds of paper. That's 4.23 pounds in 1 month. And that's not, then that's not all shredded. 72 30-foot trees you just saved. 29,610 gallons of water. 1,607 gallons of oil. And 25,803 kilowatts of energy. Friends, that's 1 month of paper recycling at your resort. You have the ability to make a huge impact on the environment and a huge impact on the revenue stream that comes back to recycling. So when we met with your green team, one of the things that was said that really stuck out in my head was, we used to be really good at recycling. Would you agree? Was there a time when recycling was a bigger focus and you were probably getting more for your money at that time? So let's take a look at the difference between 2011 and 2012. From 2011 to 2012, and this is just the month of May only, your cardboard went up almost 10,000 pounds. That's huge. Mixed paper, down 1,500 pounds. Turn to your neighbor and tell them why you think that's happening.
What's mixed paper?
Office paper, just
Paper.
paper. Not cardboard, correct. Turn to your neighbor, why did it go down 1,500 pounds? What's the difference? What's happening?
More electronic.
I hope it's because it's more electronic. I hope. That's what I'm hoping for. Yes, ma'am? A lack of focus? You think that's a possibility? Possible. I would agree. Plastic from last year in May to this year in May. Now, I will tell you there's going to be a huge change in this come June 1. Because now you're baling a bale of plastic at least one every week. So that has been a big impact here just in the last couple months. Glass. Last year we were not able to take your glass. In the month of May, you gave us 2,623 pounds of glass. Wow, that's right. Shredding. Shredding went down significantly. And Bob Cisco and I are going to have a little talk. Where you at, Bob? So Iron Mountain out in the dock today. We need to talk. Aluminum. Aluminum last year, you're using 1 million cans of aluminum a year at this resort. We were not getting any of those. That has also changed. I'm going to show you a picture of it. I don't have some real hard numbers as of yet, but that has changed, as well as tin. So we've got some big changes going on, some great, some okay, and some things we really need to focus on. So the goal is, and this is Bob's word, volume. We're not specifying yet how much we want to increase by. As we move forward and we work with your green team a little bit closer, we're going to want to specify some percentages and some steps so that we can really track that growth and then try to figure out what's causing the growth and how we can make that a sustainable number to change. You have been noted as the greenest hotel in Phoenix, December 2010. What I want you to do now is really focus on how can we live up to that. You've made a lot of great changes, but there are still a lot more to be made. In fact, a friend of mine, when we were walking through the hotel to get here this afternoon, said to me, "We're only doing half of what we can do." I really want you to feel like you have deserved that title. So, in May, early May, we did what's called a waste audit. So we made sure that you started with a clean compactor, and we waited until it was all the way full, and when it got to the landfill, we actually met the truck there and watched everything being dumped, and believe it or not, we walked through it, we dug through it, and all that fun stuff. So when you see me walking and looking through your trash, I never thought I'd do it as a profession, but I do. So if you see me doing it, it's okay. So here's what it starts to look like as it's rolling out of the truck. Look at your cardboard and your plastic, friends. We want that. We want that. That is definitely something that we want to put into our recycling stream. What do you see in this picture down in the right-hand corner? Lots of plastic bags, which could be the collection bags, so I can give a little bit there, but what else do you see? Cardboard, cardboard, cardboard everywhere. Look at all the cardboard. How about those cans? And some plastic. We want those things. Those should be in your recycling stream, not in your trash stream, for sure. And then I mentioned earlier, the resort uses 1 million aluminum cans a year. Up until the 1st of June, we had gotten 0 of those. Now, with my friend Tony Badillo here, he is actually supporting you in collecting all of those cans. And for the first time ever, we have a bale of aluminum cans. What do you think of that?
Hi, I just want to formally introduce myself to everybody. I know some of you have already seen me in the properties. But my name is Tony, and I'm kind of like the recycle police. Together with that, if you guys have any suggestions where we can locate the containers, or if you don't have a container, recycle container within your area, let me know. We'll go ahead and put one and take it from there. Okay?
So I have good news and bad news about Tony. He's fabulous, but he's temporary. We don't get him forever. He is here to support you in the ramping up of your program again, and then we're going to move to another resort and give you some competition. But we really feel like the Westin Kierland can be a model site for recycling, especially here in Phoenix. So let's take a look at the numbers from the waste audit. What you probably are really going to want to focus on, if I can get my, see this red number down here? 92.98% of what was in your compactor at that waste audit is actually recyclable. 92.98%. Do you have any idea how much this resort spends on trash every year? A lot of money.
About 6,000.
About $6,000 a month. If we can get this down to even 10% of what's in your trash compactor is recyclable, imagine the money you're saving in the trash, and we actually do rebate you, so that money will come back to you rather than you giving it to Waste Management. Sounds like a good idea, huh? It's something I wanted to focus on here, though. Cardboard. 30% of what was in your compactor was cardboard. We know we can recycle that, and we need to get it baled as much as we can. If you take a look at the yellow line, food waste is 29%. That's a big number, friends, but I will tell you that's a hard thing to overcome. Simply because most of your food is probably served in a rush, hurry up, we've got to get this done kind of situation. And so getting those scraps into the correct containers is going to be a big challenge, but it is definitely doable. Does anybody know what we do with the food waste? How it gets recycled? It can go into compost, but most likely it's going to be fed to pigs. Believe it or not, that's where it's headed. All right. So again, the goal is, can you tell me what it is? What's the word? Value. Absolutely. And at the bottom, you see I have, we all share the responsibility. So from the first person I see needs to be taking some more responsibility. Ideas for immediate focus areas. All resort staff, there's that beautiful veil of cans. What do you think of that? I love it. All resort staff can focus on taking personal responsibility. When you're thinking about where you're leaving a cardboard box, instead of just leaving it in the hallway like we saw in April, make sure it gets to the appropriate place so that it does end up getting recycled. I don't know about you, but if I let my house get way too messy, when it comes time to clean, I just go, whoosh. It all goes into the garbage, rather than making sure that things get put where they should. Same thing goes with if only one person is making sure all the cardboard actually gets to the baler. If it's too overwhelming, it makes it very easy to walk by the compactor and toss it in the compactor rather than getting it out to the baler. Making conscious decisions. When you're thinking about your paper, your office paper, make sure that it's going to the right bin. Not only should it not be going in the trash and it should be going into recycle, but if it is proprietary, it needs to be going into a shred bin. It has to be going into a shred bin. So just think about the violations that can come along with having some of that confidential information out there in hands where it should not belong. And for another immediate focus area, it's summer. We're all drinking, whether it's a soda or something more than a soda, or a bottle of water. All of those containers are recyclable. Plastic, aluminum, glass. Make sure they're making it to the right place. Office personnel, again, confidential document shredding. Make sure that all that proprietary stuff or anything that has customer information on it has to make sure it's getting to the shred bin, and then all of your other office paper recycled. Resort support. You have the Weston Kierland Green Team. Do we have any Green Team members in here? I see. Fabulous. So that is your first step. If you have a question or a concern, you're not seeing bids where you think they belong, your Green Team members are the people who can make that change for you. They'll make sure that they get the information to the right person and get that taken care of. As far as partner support goes, you've got our Tony Baguillo, and I told you he's temporary because he's good. He makes big changes. And then we're also going to start working with your Green Team. We're actually going to come in and work directly with your Green Team on planning agendas, creating mottos, those kinds of things to make sure that the push not only happens at the beginning, but that we're able to make long-term changes through the things that we're doing. And then we will continue to do waste audits, and I would love to see that 92.98% go down, down, down over time. Goal is volume. We all share the responsibility. Go greener. Any questions or concerns?
Do the water bottles or the aluminum cans have to be completely empty of the liquid, or?
Obviously, that would be preferable. I realize that time is not always going to allow that. I guess my thought would be, the more time you spend dumping that, the more revenue you're going to get, because if we're filling the bins with liquid rather than the cans and the space that they take up, obviously you're not going to be getting the revenue stream back that you want. I do want to mention real quick, we did pick up just today, and while we're seeing immense amounts of change in volume, also think about how clean your recycling items are, and actually, so that kind of taps off of what you were saying. We are seeing a lot of what I'll call dirty recycling, especially coming from the resident towers or the customer towers. So we really need to encourage that staff to be really focused about the way that they're putting their recycling in. I know they're busy, but every once in a while, I wouldn't say every once in a while, almost every bin today had a put-together cardboard box, one or two in each one of those bins. So not only should that cardboard be in the baler, but it's taking up extra room in those bins. I one thing to just think about too, your guests are making really conscious efforts. They actually are making sure that some of their cans are getting into the correct bins, and they're putting their newspapers and so forth at the golf course or the pool. They are attempting to put their items in the right place. Now we need to make sure that we follow through on our end and make sure that those things get made.
Thank you all in advance for everything you've done.